Hello, my name is Misha Sharif, and you're watching Decoding Careers, where I talk to professionals about their careers. Today we have Mrs. Sabiha Sheikh, who works as a pharmacist for Walgreens. Now here's some information about pharmacy. On average, the salary for a pharmacist ranges from about $87,000 to $154,000. Pharmacists must have a doctoral degree of pharmacy or a PharmD degree from an accredited school, but other pharmacists who own their own store may choose to get a master's degree in business. So how are you, Mrs. Sheikh?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today, Misha?
I'm doing great. Let's go ahead and roll straight into the questions. What 3 words best describe your profession?
I would say the 3 words that come to my mind first would be medications, because pharmacists usually will dispense medications. They are your medications or drug experts. Patients, because you're taking care of people, so they are your patients, so you're taking care of them. And I think ultimately it's care, because you're basically caring for someone through use of medications to get them better. So I think that sums up the 3 words.
Great. I think as a pharmacist, I definitely think those 3 are the most important, obviously, because as a pharmacist, you give your patient or the patient's medication and you're in charge of basically what they're going to be taking. So I do think those 3 words are extremely important. So on our next question, describe what educational background is best for this kind of career.
So you would definitely need to complete the doctor's degree in pharmacy. That would be that's the standard requirement from an accredited university. That's what you said at the beginning. So that would be something a person would have to pursue. If they get in through finishing a 4 years bachelor's degree in undergrad, or they just do the minimum prerequisites, their requirement is basically, it's very competitive to get in. So most people do have an undergrad. And then you write a PCAT, which is the entrance exam for the pharmacy college admissions test, right? And then you apply to the pharmacy program and you get in. So that's the doctor's degree in pharmacy would be the route.
Okay. So the doctor's degree is the way to go. Okay. And talking about education, are there any special certifications or trainings required for this job?
So with the PharmD, which is what the doctor's degree is, you are basically eligible to work as a pharmacist. Of course, you can specialize more. So people can go ahead and further their education depending on their interest, I would say. People can do MBAs if they want to pursue entrepreneurship. They can do residencies in different fields, like it could be infectious disease, it could be cardiology, it could be ambulatory care. But those will all just be to further your education, just so that you can go and practice in a particular clinical setting if that's what a person wants to pursue.
Oh, interesting. So you can further your job. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. And you can always tailor your job to your interests. That's really cool. Could you describe to me a typical day in your job?
So I work for a retail pharmacy, and I think that's the most seen pharmacy, right? Because that's probably at almost every street corner. So my typical day at job would be talking to patients, talking to doctors, and filling prescriptions. Mostly a good part of my day goes in consulting, or, when someone walks up to your pharmacy and asks you, okay, I have a cold, or I have a child with a stomach ache. So you're basically triaging, I would say, just to make sure that we can treat them with what is available at the pharmacy, or would they have to go see a doctor to get a prescription? And if they have to, when they bring that back, then we evaluate that, okay, this is the prescription they got, and we make sure that they get it right and they are educated on how to use it, what to look for as side effects, and when to reach out to the pharmacy or doctor if they experience any of the side effects.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So your day actually is very filled. It's not just standing on the counter. It includes lots of other things, which is very insightful, because whenever I go to the pharmacy to get my medication, or after I go to the doctors if I ever need any medication, I always thought the job consists of just standing on the counter, but there's so much more. That is so interesting.
Yes, there is more in the vaccine too. We have to make sure that it's going through your insurance, you're getting the right price of the medicine. There's a lot of background stuff that their support staff takes care of too.
Yeah. So I guess your support staff is also very important. And what do you think are the 3 most important skills needed for your job?
That's a good one. I would say communication, good communication skills, be it with your support staff, be it with your patients, so they understand what to do with their medicine, or sometimes with the physicians that we're talking to. So I would say communications for sure. I think patience. We deal with a lot of people. So anytime you are dealing with people, you have to be patient. People that come to the pharmacy are usually not feeling well. They're not in the best of the mood many a times. So you have to have patience. And I think another thing that is important is to always be, I don't know if this is the best word to use, accuracy. There is usually no room for error because this is medication. So dispensing a medicine that goes out of the pharmacy can cause serious damage. So there is no, you cannot lose, I would say, your moment of accuracy, or you cannot just be laid back when you're doing this job. So I think you have to be always alert. I would say alert, accuracy would be another term I would use.
Yes, that's great. And definitely on the lines that you're saying, it's super important that you're responsible obviously for the medicine that you are dispensing to other people. And talking about people, you said a lot of times that you have talked to many people and that you deal with a lot of people, not just your patients, but also physicians and your support staff. So and there can be a lot of challenges that come with that. So how do you what are some challenges that come with your profession?
I think so. I mean, the common challenge, of course, at a workplace is when you're working with lots of people, then you have the people challenges. It could be from scheduling to getting along. Those are different challenges. But I think as a profession, the challenge would be just how healthcare today is in America. Like the cost of healthcare, I think, is the biggest challenge the pharmacy industry faces. Access to medicine is becoming difficult for many people in the US because of increase in cost. I think that is one of the biggest challenges the profession faces today.
Okay, yeah. Healthcare is a very important thing. And I think in America, especially, if you don't have healthcare, it like life just becomes immensely difficult for you. And that is definitely so a challenge that is there for everybody, not only just pharmacists. How do you balance your personal life with your work life?
I think that is true for all professionals. I mean, in general, anybody who goes out to work, I think have to create a balance between work and home. I think is to know what you're getting into. I think that is important. That once you step out to have a job, there is some sort of balance required. And I would say delegation, taking help from family is important. And I think just staying ahead, planning ahead, I think is very, very important.
Definitely. I feel like planning ahead, when you do plan ahead, it opens like a lot and you're just like your life just becomes a lot organized, and planning ahead is definitely a skill I also use while I'm pursuing my gold award. That is some great advice. And this is the last question. So if you have not been listening, just to everybody, all the viewers, all the audience, if you have not been listening, please make sure to listen right now. This is the last question, which is, what advice would you give to a high schooler who is trying to pursue this career?
So pharmacy, like many other professions, could be practiced in multiple ways. Okay, so what you see out is the most biggest picture of what you see as a retail pharmacy or someone owns a pharmacy as a business. But there is a lot that happens around pharmacy. With that degree, you can do a lot. People work at hospitals, people work in clinics, people work in research, people work in drug manufacturing, teaching, and I can go on. So I would suggest for high schoolers to get their feet wet, talk to people in the profession. If you get an opportunity through school, shadow. If you can go and physically be in the pharmacy and experience it over a few days or weeks, you'll get a better insight into what it takes and if it is something that interests you. What just something looks good on paper may not be something you may like to do from a day-to-day lifestyle, right? And then if you're a high schooler and if you want to pursue pharmacy, you should like chemistry and math. So if this is something you don't enjoy, you might want to think about it.
Okay, thank you. That was really well said. I love how you said that and explained that. Thank you so much, Mrs. Sabihanti. Thank you so much. It was really insightful to have you here for me to interview you. I hope this didn't take too much of your time. Jazakallah khair for being here.